Hey guys, Louie here. Well, it's Sunday morning, and I'm just going through my portfolio of miners and metals and just seeing how they're doing. I thought you might want to tag along if you're interested in silver miners, gold miners, um, um, commodities, base metals, etc. It's pretty impressive what they have been doing, and it's been up and down and up and down. So I'm just going to go through some of these, and maybe you'll get some ideas. The one thing I will say is, if you are going to buy into miners or base metals, you really have to do it on corrections. When the bottom is falling out, when they're on a low in the cycle. And they seem to oscillate between highs and lows pretty frequently. So whatever you do, don't go out, and this is not financial advice, I'm just showing you what's up with me, but don't go out and make a bunch of purchases when silver or gold or commodities are on a tear. You probably want to wait for the dollar to be rising. Like if you get, way up towards the top end of a rising dollar range, that might be a good time to take a look at commodities, silver miners, gold miners, because that invariably pushes tangible assets down. So here I am. This is the same portfolio that I showed you back in June. I've been giving you updates, and it has been up a lot and then pulled back down to, I think it was in the 20s, might have been the low 20s or mid 20s. Now we're back up to 36.4% since June. So that is to July, August, September, October, November, about 5 months with this portfolio. Very small portfolio. I think as you diversify, keep in mind some of these bets, if you're in the miners, you want that to be on the small side, at least from my risk tolerance range, because they can crack. So let's go through. This was not put together with a whole lot of thought, but some of these are not even silver miners. But because silver comes from copper production, FCX, Freeport McMoRan, is a copper producer, and I want you to get a load of this chart. Okay, don't you wish that was silver? If that was silver and, we started at 20 bucks, we would be up at about 60 by now. That's copper, guys. That is the copper play, and that is the inflation play. This is one of the reasons that I say this deflation argument, it sure isn't evident in the prices of tangible assets. So Freeport McMoRan continues on a tremendous tear, and I realize that is not a silver miner, but I put it in there because silver is a byproduct of copper mining. Okay, here is Hecla Mining, which has been hit or miss, but it had a wonderful run from July up through September, up to about 650. And my friend Juice Stacker says this one needs to stay above 5 to be healthy. Well, it is well above 5 now and basing. I like the looks of that. It's a powerful stock. Where are they? Hecla is in, they do silver, gold, lead, and zinc. Green Creeks, Lucky Friday, Casa Bernardo, San Sebastian, Alaska, Mexico. Okay, all looks pretty safe in terms of locale, but I like that one. That one's done well for me, and I have swing traded that a bit. I raise, when it's at a low, I raise my percentage, my shares. If it spikes up, I take half off. That's kind of how I do it. Pan American, I've heard other people recommend, only up 21%. So that has gone recently. Let me get back to a reasonable time frame here. Maybe a 3-month chart. Okay, that's Pan American. It tends to spike and then drop back. It's done that a bunch of times, but there's 3 shots at breaking out. Looks like it's taken another run here. So Pan American silver, Like I said, up about 20% on a 6-month basis. Yeah, not much movement there. Not much movement there, kind of in a neutral phase. Let's keep looking. And I don't follow all the details of these. That's why I put together a basket. Some go up, some go down. United States, let's see, silver up 15.4%. Also, let me get a 3-month. Yeah, also staying kind of in a neutral pattern. America Gold and Silver Corp reports earnings. Okay, that was on November 13th. Guess the earnings were all right. It didn't crash the stock. So there you go, just kind of a long range. And I think that's consistent with what silver is doing. Kind of hovering here in the 25s. Not too many sellers, not too many buyers, just kind of right in that Goldilocks zone, waiting for something to happen. Of course, if silver pops back up towards 30, you'll see a lot of activity in the silver miners. So that's USAS. Well, there's SLV. That's just in there for ballast. Silver is up 40% since I loaded this in June. Let's see. Was silver at a low in June? We took our big dip in March, and then by June we had recovered. Oh, that was right before the big move up. Okay, that makes sense. What else do we have in here? Okay, AG, you all know First Majestic, and as I say, that's kind of a fully priced, mature stock, and it is subject to dips as well, but that looks like it's gaining ground here. Let's see, any disappointments? The CEO of First Majestic, I watched an interview on Kitco from him, and I thought it was very interesting that he said when he prices, when he does his financial modeling for the future, they're very conservative there. They're among the miners that when silver dipped down to whatever it was, $12, he stopped selling. He said, "I'm not going to sell it down here. This is a paper event," and he stopped selling his silver, which proved to be a very good decision. And then he went on to say they've got a lot of new projects in the offing. And when he projects the future on a conservative basis, he uses the number of $22. So, there's a guy that's been in the business his whole life and says that he's betting his entire company and his financial modeling on the fact that silver won't go below 22. And that probably means there is definitely some upside from there. And as you saw, when it got pressured, it certainly didn't go below 22. So that's what he thinks the floor is, obviously. So that's hanging in there. Recent little drop back from 1160 down to about 1070. Looks like a good entry point for that one. And what else do we have here? SBR is a mistake. That is actually an oil service royalty company, which is holding its own. Pays big dividends though, so I do occasionally hold that before the dividend. And BVN up 36%. We had a drop on this one the other day. Let's see what happened. What happened around the middle of? Oh, that's just the other day. Let's see. Yeah, from 13 down to 1150. No formal news. CEO transition, that's old news. They announced their earnings on 10/29. So let's see. That's old news. The earnings must have been pretty good because the stock went up on that news. So I don't know what's going on there, but there is a buying opportunity. Looks like it's trying to crack a recent low. But I'd be an additional buyer of that. Okay, so there are the silver miners that have put in nice solid gains. I mean, you could have almost thrown a dart in June, and maybe some of this is dumb luck. But let's keep looking. I want you to see what's going on with inflation. And let me go over to commodities. And this is a basket. I don't currently own all of these, but I do own some of them. And this is a basket of commodities, both agricultural and metals. and other commodity plays. And this was put together also in June. And I know we've had a pretty good run since then, but that is up 16%. But some of the ones in here, let's see, MT, what is this? This is owns and operates steel manufacturing and mining in Europe, North America, South America, Asia, and they mine, I think mostly steel ore, and they produce flat steel products. Okay, it has got a strong buy on it, and it's been marching up like that Freeport McMoran, a little slower than steel, a little slower than copper, but a nice solid stair step on that, showing you inflation in the works. Soybeans. Okay, soybeans up 25% since June. Okay, what did people think we were going to stop eating back in July and August? Well, that shows you the price of everything is going up. And look at that chart. Let me make that a little bigger for you. Apologize. Look at that. Look at that chart from 16 to 18 here in just a few days. Lots of pressure on the upside for commodities. So that is soybeans. Plan on baby formula to get more expensive. What else is in here? NTR. I love fertilizers. You know, I invested in the last oil run. I don't even know if it was 10, 20 years ago, 10, 15 years ago, but oil went over 100. I think it was even threatening $150 or $200 a barrel at one point. And you could buy stuff like fertilizers and so forth. And these things, all commodities were headed to the moon back in that run. It did peter out and crash back down. I can't get you that chart offhand, but something like Nutrien that produces fertilizers, it's got buy, neutral. They have a loss on impairment. Okay, I'm not going to get into the story, but that doesn't seem to have stopped the stock over a 3-month period, stair-stepping up. That's an inflation play, you bet. I like that stock a lot. I do trade it. Let me keep going. Tech is a copper play, up 41%. I won't go into the chart. Corn, up 13%. Your cornflakes are going to be going up. This is an agricultural index. So the DBA is the agricultural basket. The DBC is the general commodity basket, and the DBB is the base metal basket. I don't know why I don't have the base metals in here. So those are slow moving. If you're just looking for some ballast, I think those are decent stocks to play inflation, but they move very slowly. Let's see, UNL is natural gas, since I put it in here, up 12.5%. JJN is nickel. People are really super, super bullish on nickel. And I think you should get some in whatever form, you know, find a safe company that's involved in the nickel space. This is the Bloomberg nickel sub-index. So it'll be another basket. If you want to find out what they're invested in, I highly recommend E-Trade, guys. It's an adult platform, costs nothing, and you can get into these. Look at this right here. If you want to know what's in the basket, you click portfolios. Well, of course, now this one is not going to cooperate, but usually you click portfolio, they'll tell you what's in the basket, and you can go buy the components of the basket. I'm not going to dig deep in that because I don't want to drone on here, but nickel, really strong, really super strong battery play. ConAgra Foods up 7%. I like that one, pays a dividend. There's the base metals up 21%. Base metals are doing better than commodities, than agricultural commodities in general. Here's lead, not participating for some reason, only up 6%. Would have thought that would have been up. Cow, I buy from time to time. That is like the spot price of beef. It is very thinly traded, and you can lose money really fast in that stock, so be wary of that one. Vale is sorry, I got cut off. I was going to say Vale is another metals and metals mining company. Let's see. Vale, global producer of iron ore and iron pellets. Other key steel making equipment. This is for the infrastructure stimulus that never comes. I mean, I don't know why it is that Congress can't decide on an infrastructure bill. I think because they want to give the money away to their buddies in the banks, and rather than give it to the American people and improve our roads and electric grid. And God, what a bunch of morons. I don't get it. It's corruption at the highest level. You got to give away $5 trillion to the crony banks before we can get $1 million infrastructure bill and actually do something tangible. You wonder why China is kicking our butt. And China is actually in a bull market, having both turned the corner on the coronavirus and on their economy. Their currency is, has been strong. I can't say what it is today, but they invest in their infrastructure. Matter of fact, they're buying up gold mines and I think silver mines as well, all over the world. They're providing loans to third world countries whereby they introduce communism into those countries and steal their raw materials, which I think is reprehensible. But what do? We just sit on our thumbs, I'll tell you. So, watch out for China. Anyway, so sorry to digress, but this is Vale, and it looks like we're at a double top here. Not sure what's going on there, but that's gone from 1050 to 1175. Nice run. And let me finish this up. Let's see. Joe is coffee. Also, I'm not going to go into that chart. NIB, are those base metals or is that nickel? NIB is cocoa. Okay, I don't know. Cocoa not doing so good. And what else? And I'm going to get to the silver miners here in a minute. Vettel, one of these companies was delisted. I'm not sure which one it was. Let's see. Vettel has had a big drop from 750 to 5, but look at it climbing back up. Results for the second quarter released on November 6th, and looks like the market liked them, so there's a buying opportunity there. They are in the business of copper and copper products and aluminum. Aluminum is so damn hot. Here's Alcoa AA. And I said to my son the other day, who was learning how to buy and sell stocks, we drove by a building project in the area. It was a strip mall or an apartment building or something. And I noticed that they were building the friggin' thing out of aluminum beams. Okay, if you've seen office construction, you know they use a lot of aluminum in office construction. But wood, which also I didn't own but has gone through the roof, well, they're converting from wood to aluminum in some of these projects. And look at Alcoa. Let's see, it was at 12 just a month ago. Now it's pushing 17. Home run there. Really like aluminum here. I don't know if I'd buy it like while it's running, but really like aluminum here. Let's go back to the thing. Was that the end of it? That was it. Now let's get back over to the silver miners. I want to show you the loser of the group, the penny miners. Penny silver miners. I think this is what I picked up from Sprott Inc. I went into their holdings, and you guys all know Sprott. He makes billions investing in silver mines and buying, selling, flipping, developing, etc. He no longer runs Sprott Inc., but I picked up their basket here, and I guess I bought this one at the wrong time. I picked this up in September, and these penny miners, that one's down 30%, down 11, down 34. So that is a bomb right there. But I still have that basket, and it's really small just to kind of track it. What did silver do from September 14th? Let's check SLV. So silver back to September. Was that the high? Yeah, so silver, well, it wasn't at a high. Let me go to 6 months. In September, mid-September, it was around 25 bucks. Then it took that giant dip, which it's trying to build its way out of. But from 26.75 was, well, no, let's call 25 to 26, and then down to 21 or so. So that crushed the penny miners, and now it's trying to build back up. So, but those have not recovered from that crushing. So that's interesting, and take that with a grain of salt if you are into those. And that's about all I have to share with you. Oh, I also picked up some gold miners recently. So the GDX is the basket, and you know, it's been flopping around in here. You got to watch the dollar. So if you watch the price of gold miners, they're very reactive to the dollar. And what I will typically do is put in the dollar, and you know, not YUP, UUP for the dollar. And I know, don't laugh at me. I'm a neophyte, but this is what I do. And if we get to a larger chart, you can track the dollar to the GDX, and look what happens here. And I think the dollar is headed back lower, but the dollar takes a run up and GDX gets crushed. Okay, the dollar starts coming back down, GDX comes up, comes down further, GDX comes up, but notice it only retraced about 60%. Dollar spikes up again, GDX gets crushed, up again, gets crushed again. And now the dollar is low. When it starts down, all that compression caused it to go up 15% in about a week or two, and now we're flattish on the dollar. But that is the relationship between the dollar and GDX. If you want to look at, let me get out of here. If you want to look at the junior, let's GDXJ. It's just kind of waiting, even more reactive than GDX, because it's the junior miners. So again, it's correlating inversely to the dollar. I bought some Barrick the other day. Sorry, I did, because I immediately lost money on it. You can sell options on GOLD if you want to sell calls, which I often do. If I'm not sure about something, I'll take a position, I'll sell the out of the money calls, and then it can go up and I make money, and it can go down and I only lose half the money. I cover the calls. Anyway, gold got crushed the other day. Barrick Gold got crushed the other day. You know, again, kind of slow moving. It's a Warren Buffett investment, and it's waiting for GLD to do something. Okay, so that's the full story on metals and miners, and if you know, you're interested in that kind of thing, take a look. You can get on E-Trade, you can buy as little as 1 share. I don't know if they do fractional or not like Robinhood does, but you can buy as little as 1 share of some of these companies and just watch them trade. What I will typically do is I will take a position in a basket, and it might be, the entire basket might be 1% of my holdings, right? I mean, like that is how small I keep the miners. But the individual stocks in that, if they go up a lot, I sell half. If they go up a lot more, I sell another half. And then I'm kind of done. I just wait for it to drop back to reset my position, if you like swing trading. But when you have a basket, you'll have some in the basket that spike like crazy. So it does make sense, I think, to swing trade those. And they often drop back after they spike. Okay, that's all I have for you now. Hope you enjoyed this. What are your best ideas if you're into the miners and the commodity space? There's a wide world out there outside of precious metals. just, stacking the silver and the gold and the platinum. And even outside of the silver miners, you can see how commodities are crushing silver and gold. And virtually everything is going up, with pretty rare exception. So, the precious metals market, I still believe, is heavily manipulated with naked shorts. But some of these commodity markets, I think they just let them run. So if you believe in the silver and gold, premise, and you're not afraid of the stock market and paper, and you're just looking for income or trades, you can take a look at some of these commodities. They're actually kicking silver and gold's ass. That's the reality. So don't write them off. Take a look at them, and don't buy high, and don't buy when they're rising. Buy when they're cratering. Watch that dollar. Okay, guys, talk to you later. Louie out.